Let's take a look at the latest LGBTQ+ population statistics from Gallup. Today, about 7.6% of U.S. adults identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or another non-heterosexual orientation. This is a significant increase from 5.6% just 4 years ago and 3.5% in 2012, the first year Gallup measured sexual orientation and transgender identity. These results come from comprehensive data gathered in Gallup telephone surveys, including interviews with more than 12,000 Americans aged 18 and older. When asked about their sexual orientation, 85.6% of respondents identified as heterosexual, while 7.6% identified with one or more LGBTQ+ groups, and 6.8% chose not to respond. Interestingly, bisexual adults make up the largest proportion of the LGBTQ+ community. About 4.4% of U.S. adults, or 57.3% of LGBTQ+ adults, identify as bisexual. Gay and lesbian identities are the next most common, each representing slightly over 1% of U.S. adults and roughly 1 in 6 LGBTQ+ adults. Slightly less than 1% of U.S. adults, and about 1 in 8 LGBTQ+ adults, identify as transgender. Other identities such as pansexual and asexual are also represented, though in smaller numbers. One of the most remarkable aspects of this growth is the higher identification among younger adults. Members of Generation Z and the millennial generation are far more likely than older generations to identify as LGBTQ+. More than 1 in 5 Gen Z adults, those aged 18 to 26 in 2023, identify as LGBTQ+. Nearly 1 in 10 millennials aged 27 to 42 do as well. In contrast, less than 5% of Generation X, 2% of baby boomers, and 1% of the silent generation identify as LGBTQ+. Within these younger generations, bisexuality is the most common LGBTQ+ identity. 15% of all Gen Z adults are bisexual, representing more than 2/3 of the LGBTQ+ individuals in this group. There are also significant gender differences in LGBTQ+ identification. Women are nearly twice as likely as men to identify as LGBTQ+, 8.5% versus 4.7%. Among the youngest generations, especially Gen Z and millennials, close to 3 in 10 Gen Z women identify as LGBTQ+, compared with about 10.6% of Gen Z men. For millennials, 12.4% of women and 5.4% of men have an LGBTQ+ identification. Bisexuality is the most common form of LGBTQ+ identification among women, while men are equally likely to identify as bisexual or gay. It's important to note that non-binary individuals represent about 1% of U.S. adults. Combined data from 2022 and 2023 indicate that about 80% of non-binary adults identify as LGBTQ+, with 1/3 being bisexual and 1/3 transgender. In conclusion, the percentage of U.S. adults identifying as something other than heterosexual has more than doubled since 2012. This increase is driven by younger generations, with about 1 in 10 millennials and 1 in 5 Gen Z adults identifying as LGBTQ+. These trends suggest that the proportion of LGBTQ+ identifiers will continue to grow, potentially exceeding 10% of U.S. adults within the next 3 decades. This data is more than just numbers. It reflects the growing visibility, acceptance, and courage of individuals to live their truth. Let's continue to support and uplift each other as we move toward a future where everyone can proudly be themselves. Thank you, and please remember to like and share this video and to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.